Hello, friends, adventurers, and craft enthusiasts. I hope you'll enjoy more fun with broken mug repair and enhancement, because I have made a wonderful discovery. Epoxy resin is great for sticking pieces together and filling some gaps, but I found that clear nail polish top coat is really good for filling in tiny cracks and doing fiddly detail work. Like this spot right here. I also used it to try and round out some of the drips over here. Not only is it a pretty good vehicle for the pigment, but it dries very tough and hard. I can sort of get it off with a fingernail, but it takes a lot of effort. Like, I can deform it a little, but it's tough. It's also super easy to use. Just pour a little bit out. Take your favorite tiny paintbrush, mix a little pigment in. And paint away. I've really come to like this because it's got a little bit more body than the Mod Podge, but is much more flexible and workable than the epoxy resin. It's a pretty decent match for the epoxy resin too, in terms of finish once it's dry. You can sort of tell the difference, but you really have to be looking for it. It is also relatively non-toxic, though I still would not call it food safe. Oh, that one went a little out of bounds. But you can see here, much better job of matching the original curve of the handle. I can also say that this top coat holds up rather well to a good sink washing, but I still wouldn't put it in the dishwasher. And I don't know what a microwave will do to it. I want to get a little more pigment in on this job. So, scoop out just a little bit of pigment. We're not going to dump a whole lot in here. Not for something this tiny. And again, the old standard mix, mix, mix. For tiny cracks and details where I want to use a precision paintbrush instead of slapping it on with a stick, I really prefer using not epoxy resin and something I can more easily wash out of the brush. I don't want to use the epoxy resin with my paintbrushes because, one, I want a working time of a bit more than 5 minutes when I'm doing fiddly details like this. And two, I don't trust that I would be able to wash the resin out of this brush. And trust me, I've ruined plenty of paintbrushes in my time. We can also take the brush and trace the cracks and be all fancy. Even though it's a little more forgiving than the epoxy resin, the nail polish does have a limited workable time before it dries. Though it always takes longer to dry than I hope it will when I do my nails. I have ruined many a manicure. Here we've got a teeny tiny little gap that I would never be able to do much of anything with a toothpick or a applicator stick from the epoxy. But with a tiny paintbrush, a little more finesse. Wipe off the excess we don't want before it dries. Or, if you wait until it does dry, you can always just use a bit of nail polish remover. Et voila! From cracked to classy. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and share this if you feel like it. And have a good one.